Most people believe access is earned, that money is verified, checked, questioned, that behind every luxury door there is a system designed to confirm who truly belongs. But one woman decided to test that belief. She didn't inherit billions. She didn't build a tech empire. She didn't have offshore accounts or powerful connections. Instead, she did something far simpler and far more revealing. She pretended to be a billionaire. And almost immediately, the doors opened. What happened next exposed a hidden rule of the modern financial world. Wealth doesn't need proof. It only needs the appearance of certainty. The experiment began as an idea, a social test designed to answer a quiet question no one in the luxury world likes to ask. How does the ultra-rich decide who belongs? Is there verification? Or is it all based on signals, tone, confidence, image? To find out, she constructed a new identity from scratch. A fictional billionaire with a vague tech background, international interests, and a schedule too busy to explain details. No documents, no audited statements, no proof of funds, just confidence. She studied the behavior of the wealthy carefully, the way they speak, the way they dismiss details, the way they imply importance without ever stating it directly. She learned quickly that billionaires don't explain themselves, they expect others to adjust. So she adopted the same posture. Calm, detached, impatient with unnecessary questions. And suddenly, something remarkable happened. Luxury real estate agents responded instantly. Emails were answered within minutes. Invitations arrived without hesitation. Private viewings were arranged in some of the most exclusive buildings in New York City, apartments worth $30, $50, even $80 million. Properties not listed publicly, homes marketed only through whispers and private networks. No one asked for proof. No one requested financial statements. No one questioned her background. The assumption of wealth was enough. And as she walked through these spaces, she noticed something disturbing. Many of the apartments were empty, perfectly staged, immaculately designed, and completely unused. Entire floors with no signs of life. No photos, no furniture rearranged by living hands, no warmth. These were not homes. They were financial instruments, safe deposit boxes in the sky, places where money slept, untouched, while the city below faced one of the worst housing crises in its history. The illusion became impossible to ignore. The luxury market wasn't built around people. It was built around capital. And capital doesn't need to prove itself. It only needs to circulate. What shocked her most was not the extravagance, but the speed. The way access was granted the moment she stopped sounding like someone who needed approval, real estate agents deferred to her schedule. Staff adjusted instantly. Security protocols bent. The system wasn't guarding against fake wealth. It was designed to welcome assumed wealth. This wasn't fraud in the traditional sense. No money changed hands. No contracts were signed. But it revealed a deeper financial deception. A world where legitimacy is performative, where confidence replaces verification, where the appearance of money carries more weight than truth. In conversation after conversation, she realized the same pattern repeated itself. The wealthier she claimed to be, the fewer questions were asked. The more distant and uninterested she appeared, the more eager people became to please her. In this word, curiosity signals weakness. Certainty signals power. What this experiment exposed wasn't just a loophole in luxury real estate. It revealed how modern financial systems operate at the highest levels. Trust isn't built on proof. It's built on perception. And perception can be engineered. This is the same mechanism behind many financial frauds. The same logic used by fake hedge funds, false investment schemes, and corporate authority first. Verification never. Once people believe you belong at the top, they stop checking the foundation. The empty apartments told another story, not just about wealth, but about inequality. While millions struggle with rising rent and shrinking space, entire buildings sit dormant, owned by anonymous entities, shell companies, and offshore funds. The city becomes a balance sheet, not a community. By pretending to be a billionaire, she didn't infiltrate a secret society. She exposed how thin the barrier really is, how easily access can be granted when someone speaks the language of power, and how systems designed to manage wealth often fail to question it. This wasn't a story about impersonation. It was a mirror held up to a financial culture that confuses confidence with credibility and money with worth. A system where the performance of wealth is often more important than its source. And perhaps the most unsettling realization came at the end of the experiment. Nothing stopped her. No red flags were raised, no safeguards triggered. She could have continued indefinitely. That's the frightening part. Not that someone pretended to be rich, but that no one cared whether it was true. If access this vast can be granted so easily, it raises an uncomfortable question. How many others have walked through those same doors, not because they belonged there, but because they looked like they did? This story isn't about luxury. It's about systems, about who they protect, who they trust, and who they ignore. And once you see it, you begin to notice the pattern everywhere. In finance, in business, and in the illusions we mistake for legitimacy. If you want more stories that expose the hidden mechanics of wealth, power, and financial deception, subscribe to the channel. We break down the systems behind the scams, the illusions behind the money, and the truths most people never get to see.